PCN is brought to you in part by the following underwriters.
Welcome to PACTV Community News. We have a full show for you tonight with stories from Kingston, Duxbury, Plymouth, and Pembroke. We'll stop into a yoga class at the Pembroke Public Library and visit an open mic event on the South Shore.
PCN heads into Boston to see the inauguration of local politicians and will board a boat for a New Year trip down the Jones River.
Health and Wellness brings us tips on facing the flu season, and Town Talk brings Kingston Town Administrator to the set.
We have a great show ahead of us, and we'll start with an unusual police trooper who was recently in Duxbury. Daniel Clark, otherwise known as the Singing Trooper, has performed in uniform representing the Commonwealth of Massachusetts for over 20 years, performing at more than 2,500 events for federal, state, local, and military functions. The Singing Trooper has also performed at Fenway Park, Disney World, and for the New England Patriots. The seniors in Duxbury were proud to host him at a recent event, and PCN was there to see and hear this marvel.
Despite the frigid temperatures on Thursday, January 8th, folks packed the room at the Duxbury Senior Center to see Sergeant Dan Clark, or the Singing Trooper as he's more commonly known.
The stars at night are big and bright, deep in the heart of Texas.
Now a retired sergeant from the Massachusetts Highway Patrol, Clark served in the United States Marine Corps before joining the state's finest. It was there at the police academy that his talents were revealed.
As part of the application process, they want to know more about you. Besides wanting to be a trooper, what do you do outside trooper work? And one of the things I put was my extensive training as a child as a performer. So right at the academy, they had me immediately start singing our national anthem. And then I got out, became a trooper, was on patrol, and then they had me sing funerals. Funerals for fallen troopers, firefighters, public safety officials, things like that.
The Singing Trooper is more than just a one-trick pony. Clark is known to have sung anthems in 28 different languages. Those skills were on display at this event as he sang the French national anthem in a show of solidarity in light of the recent terror attacks in Paris.
If they only sang to you like this when they pulled you over, it might take a little bit of the sting out of getting those speeding tickets.
Which begs the question, did he ever sing to someone that he'd pulled over?
You know, I get asked that a lot. People who know me know that I have two pretty much distinct personalities. When I'm a trooper on the road, I take that extremely seriously. Not that I was ever mean. I was actually nice to people on the road because when coaching people, I would say 99.9% of the people you stop are your mom, your dad, your friends, just like you and me. They're going to work, they're doing their thing, so treat them accordingly. But I would always, the answer to that is I didn't.
Clark's singing career got a bit of a jump start from former Massachusetts Governor Michael Dukakis, who recognized the young trooper's talents in the 1980s while singing at funerals. Since then, his career has snowballed, as the Singing Trooper has sung at the Pops and countless Red Sox games, including Game 1 of the 2013 World Series at Fenway Park.
I was dubbed the Singing Trooper by Michael Dukakis, the governor, and who to this day is great friends, and his family's great friends with me. And so now I travel. I still continue to travel all over.
So how is it going from singing before a packed Fenway Park during the World Series to singing at the Duxbury Council on Aging?
It's very rewarding, and I learn more from these folks here. On a daily basis, I get stories from different parts of the war, different how America was, and it's a wonderful experience.
Reporting from the Duxbury Senior Center on one of the coldest days so far this year, I'm Brian Sullivan, PACTV Community News.
Early on New Year's Day, some hardy souls from the Jones River Landing took their boats, kayaks and canoes into Kingston Bay for a chilly but invigorating look at our marine environment. A strong wind kept the boaters close to shore, but everyone had a smile on their face on this beautiful first day of the year. PCN heard from a few of the members after the trip and has this report.
Well, it's New Year's Day, and it's 2015. I don't know if everybody can believe that, but it's hard for me too. And so we have a tradition here at Jones River Landing that puts boats and people out on the water to enjoy the New Year first day and get us ready for what's to follow. Really, it's a challenge, and it's a good time to hang with friends in a productive and spirited way.
When I live a regular life, I generate garbage like every other house, but I try to live a simple life, not a gorging. There's a gorging today that's disgusting, meaning especially Christmas time, where millions of plastic toys, and I mean, it's again insane.
I needed to get myself out here and just be in nature and think about how wonderful it is and get myself revved up again to try to figure out how to reach people, to tell them that it's wonderful out here. I hope more people will get themselves out and look around and see what incredible resources we have right here in this area and how endangered they are.
Looking for more grants. We're looking forward to possibly building the Kingston lobster boat as a project here in the Shiverick boat building, and maintaining all the boats that we have and getting closer to building our waterfront here into a more usable facility. Of course, revamping the boat ramp. That is, we need some better construction, some better footing under it, and our seawall out here. We're going to be working on that coming up as well to enhance the facility, eventually incorporating some solar power here to take part in the natural energy that we can.
Well, we love volunteers down here in the Jones River. I mean, you can stop by Jones River Landing during the week. We're usually here. You can send us an email. You can look online, jonesriver.org. You can also check out the issues with Pilgrim that we're involved with through the Cape Cod Baywatch.org, which is a program of ours. And we have many volunteer opportunities there as well. We write a lot of letters to Congress, to NRC, to state and federal officials, and the more that people express their concerns, the more people open their eyes to the danger that is lurking in their backyard, the more likely we'll get action on that. So there's tremendous opportunity. We do fish counts every spring. We love the fish counters, 10 minutes a day, once a week or more if you like. That's an opportunity. We do boat building down at the landing. Become a member, join the fun. Have a good year.
The Yoga Connection in Plymouth has held classes at the Pembroke Public Library for the past 20 years. PCN stopped into one of these sessions to witness what goes on and to get into a relaxed state.
And for the next few moments, just tell yourself, I'm breathing in, I'm breathing out. And let the left elbow draw the arms over to the left. I'm Barbara Ward from the Yoga Connection. We've been a yoga studio in Plymouth for almost 20 years now.
It teaches you great relaxation methods, and it exercises every muscle group in the body, and gives you something you can take home and do at home as well.
press the palms together, inhale, exhale, come back to the center. Let's clasp our hands here.
It's just a great way to relax and stretch out my muscles, loosen up the joints, and sort of meditate in a way. It's like a meditation.
Well, the demographics are interesting. We have people in their 80s, and then we have young people, we have men. Today, for example, there were 3 new people that came. We're always welcoming new people.
I practice yoga here every week. It's something I've done for about 15 years.
Back to the center. Inhale. Some people might come not knowing why they're here, and some people might be coming just for exercise, but there's much more. I think they go away with much more. There's a certain esprit de corps that develops when people come together doing a similar practice. We've really become great friends, all of us, on a certain level. I think there's a lot of support for a lot of things that people have gone through. People have had surgeries and deaths and heartaches, and we've kind of all shared all that.
Besides being a little bit social, it's mostly just sort of a being by yourself and calming down and forgetting about all the things that you're worried about in your life.
So it's a physical practice, it's a spiritual practice. I think that word is a little overused, but it does allow you to maybe go into a deeper place than perhaps our culture allows for now.
I feel very calm. It doesn't take long to get riled up again once I get back to the office, but it's pretty great. It's like for a short time I feel, pretty mellow and happy, which you don't often come by.
You can do yoga no matter what your physical limitations are. And it's just a matter of taking the time to be kind of in the inner stillness that we all have, that, especially in today's world, we kind of ignore. Well, I think that the best way to approach yoga is to not have any expectations. It's not going to make you live any longer or have a beautiful body. That it's going to be something that you do for yourself. And again, I think people will be surprised. They might have a reason that they think they should do or want to do yoga, but then when they actually do the practice, they're going to find out that it's very layered. I always say yoga is as wide as the sky and as deep as the ocean.
The Spire Center for the Performing Arts held the first round of its competitive series called Open Mic Challenge. 4 preliminary rounds culminate with the final challenge taking place in April. The winner will receive 5 studio hours at Seaside Recording Studios. Brian stopped in to get the lowdown on what this venture is all about.
In the brief time that it's been there, the Spire Center for Performing Arts in Plymouth has become one of the top local places to see and play music. We headed down for the first of 4 open mic nights.
It's kind of a cold and snowy January night for things to be kicking off, but the good news is by the time this thing wraps up, it will be springtime. Right now, let's head inside and see how things are shaping up.
The idea to have the open mic night be a 4-round challenge was the brainchild of Jake Hill. A musician himself, Hill wants to give the local talent a reason to play and get better, and that's what this contest represents.
There's other open mic contests in Boston, stuff that I've been a part of in the past, and I just thought it was a great way to give an open mic a little bit more meaning, put something on the line. And the grand prize is 5 hours recording time with C Sound Studios, which is located here in the Spire, and also an opening spot for a big national act in the summer or fall.
There are 4 nights overall, with 2 coming up in February and 1 in March. Each night, 3 finalists are chosen to compete on April 10th for the studio time and the tour slot.
This is a community program that we're putting together because this is how I started in music, and this is how many of my other people that I've known that have come up through the ranks have started. You start playing open mics and doing your best and honing your craft, and hopefully we'll give people some inspiration to really continue their pursuits and passions in music. The intention is to put on a good show and to give people exposure that are looking for it, and let them let them cut their teeth here at the Spire, and hopefully that will just snowball into a wonderful life of music.
Reporting from the Spire in downtown Plymouth, I'm Brian Sullivan, PACTV Community News. Elected officials from all over Massachusetts have been taking their oaths of office during this first month of 2015. PCN was at the State Senate Inauguration Day on January 8th and got to speak with the new Senate President, Stan Rosenberg, and Plymouth-Barnstable District's new Senator Vinnie DiMacedo.
Well, as you can imagine, this is a pretty exciting day for me, being sworn into the Massachusetts Senate for the first time. As many of you know, I've had the privilege of serving in the Massachusetts House of Representatives for 16 years, but this is clearly an exciting day for me to be in a smaller body and yet still in state government.
Here in the Senate, we want to continue what my predecessors have done, which is to make the Senate more open, more transparent, and really create a civic engagement with the public. I'm historically, through my entire career, been worried about the rampant cynicism in our society, and I think it undermines democracy, it undermines our way of life, and I hope that over the coming years that we can take some really bold steps to try to improve our image and improve people's understanding of what we do here and appreciation for that work.
Well, you know, like anything, it's a learning experience. I'm looking forward to working with the members. The neat thing is that many of the members that are in this chamber now were former House members. These are people that I had a chance to work with every day. I knew them. I knew them. We worked on issues together. And so I think in a smaller body, that opportunity to spend even more time with them and working closely, I think it's going to enable me to be hopefully pretty effective in a very short period of time. As many people know, my background has been finance, and I've been a ranking member on the Committee on Ways and Means. My hope is, as I come here, that I'm able to bring that bit of experience into this body and use that experience. And so hopefully in the next 2 or 3 weeks, we'll find out what committees I'm going to be on. But just by the nature of the smaller body, I'm not going to only be on Ways and Means, but I'm probably going to be on a few other committees as well.
I think we're going to be pursuing a very pragmatic agenda. It's about growing the economy and making sure that people have jobs and jobs that they can support their families on. I don't think that's a liberal idea. I don't think that's a conservative idea. I think it's a basic American idea.
There are a lot of different issues, but the first issue that I think we're going to have to tackle is the $700 million deficit that is facing us. That's a challenge. We're going to try to get some, we're going to try to spend some time and get an understanding of where these problems are. Where can we save money in the budget that's going on right now to be able to stem what I would otherwise be 9 seat cuts that the governor would have to do. So that's the first order of business. I've talked about this a lot as well, and the heroin epidemic is another issue. Each and every day we hear horror stories about people overdosing, and that has got to stop. We have got to get to these young people and let them know how dangerous this drug is, and that it is a dead end for them. And so that's another major issue that we're going to tackle. I think the most important issue right now is education. I think we've done a lot in different areas that we can do legislatively. It's now going into the schools, getting to the young people and letting them know that this is not a recreational drug. This is a drug that will destroy your life. You see it every day. And once you're hooked forever. It owns you. And so when we can spend enough time to get and understanding these young people's minds about how dangerous this drug is and how this is, in playing with this, they could be literally ending their lives. I think that that will help us in tackling this in the future. How honored I am that they've given me an opportunity to serve them. I know that I'm following a very successful, not only senator, but it's the Senate president. And so there are big shoes to fill for me. But I appreciate the opportunity, the trust that they've given in me, and I promise you that over these next 2 years that I am going to work day in and day out to make sure that they are well represented, and that we can bring some common sense back to what I believe is state government for the good of the people.
Our health and wellness segment brings us some tips on how to battle flu season from Healthy Appetites in Plymouth.
Hi, I'm Jeff Hills. I'm from Healthy Appetites, and this is the PCN Health and Wellness segment. Well, I'm going to tell you a story that you're probably going to hear over and over again this winter. My in-laws, Norm and Linda, both got the flu shot 2 months ago. 2 weeks ago, they were both diagnosed with the flu. Well, for once, the media is admitting that this year's flu shot is a dud. Don't despair, though. There's plenty of things that you can do. The first thing that I think everybody should do is a good multivitamin. There was a study done on elderly patients that took over 12 months. It was a randomized, placebo-controlled, double-blind study. That's the gold standard for nutritional studies, which showed that if you took a multivitamin, it reduced your sick days by 25. In other words, the people who took the multivitamin had 23 sick days. The people who didn't had 48. It also reduced antibiotic use by over 40%. Also, take a good probiotic. 80% of your immune system is in your gut. You need to take care of that. Vitamin C also is very effective to protect your cells from viruses. Vitamin C ramps up your production of something called interferon. Interferon keeps viruses from being able to penetrate your cells. Recent studies have shown that vitamin D is a potent antibiotic. Vitamin D makes your body make over 200 antimicrobial peptides. These are little particles that go around and damage the outer coating of viruses, bacteria, and funguses to make them unviable. Are these things alone going to be enough to protect you from the flu? Maybe not. Think of these as the foundation for the fortress that you're going to build to protect yourself from the flu. Some things that directly impact the flu would be elderberry syrup. Elderberry coats the outer coating of the virus and makes it unable to penetrate your cells, and it makes the virus unable to do the thing that viruses want to do. They want to use your cellular material against you. Elderberry prevents that. Another thing that you can do is monolaurin. Monolaurin is something that's in lauric acid, which is found in coconut milk and in breast milk. Olive leaf has been used for thousands of years to help with respiratory illnesses. It stops the flu virus from replicating, prevents it from getting into your cells, and ramps up the production of the cells that will clear the virus from your blood. If you're on medications and you're afraid to do something herbal, there are a lot of homeopathic remedies. Homeopathic remedies are fine to use with any other nutritional supplements or medications. The ones that are used the most are gelsemium, aconite, and eupatorium. Well, try these. Good luck. Keep yourself safe. This is Jeff Hills from Healthy Appetites. This has been the PCN Health and Wellness segment.
We are back with Town Talk, and we have Robert Fennessy, Kingston's town administrator, on set. Welcome, Robert.
Thank you. Thank you for having me again.
Yes, he's going to be giving us some updates on what's going on in Kingston, and I heard there was some water damage at a couple buildings with a recent freeze.
We did. We had at the Council on Aging, we had a water pipe burst, was frozen, and one of the sad things is all the residents were there and they were sitting down for lunch just
right at lunchtime,
and it happened in the kitchen area. So it was a sheet of water coming down and it flooded the whole first level of the building.
It flooded the entire first floor?
Into the community room about an inch deep throughout the community room. So it was quite extensive. The Council on Aging staff, Joe Favaloro on the board, Tammy Murray did a great job, called in, the fire department showed up because it actually hit the stove too, and there's a concern with the gas leakage because the pilots were wet and went out. So that was one.
Well, how long is the building out of commission for?
It was out of commission for about 4 days.
Oh, that's it?
That's it. And we had great response by our insurance company who sent contractors there to take care of it right away. So it was the first. And on the same night, and that was when the temperature was hovering around 5 degrees. The same night, same afternoon actually, at the library, the heating unit went and it was spurting steam into the room, and again, fortunately, with everything, we were able to get the contractors there, and by that night they fixed the whole system.
It was an exciting week.
It was.
In
and
Kingston.
If you remember, that was the night that we had the event for the 20th anniversary.
Oh, the 20th anniversary of the library.
Night,
yes, we did a story about that.
So that was
the same night.
So I just want to remind everybody, keep that heat at least 60 on your register, because when it gets low like that, even major buildings can have issues.
Wow. Okay, how about construction projects? Something with the Smith Lane Bridge?
We have Department of Transportation doing work over Route 3A on the Smith Lane Bridge. It'll be done evenings from 7:30 p.m. to 5:30 a.m. So to hopefully not have an effect on the commuting public. That's going to take about 3 months or so to complete. So it'll be a major project, but we're glad it's getting done.
All right, we'll have to do a follow-up story on that for PCN, get people educated. And okay, and in the Adams Center, I understand you have a new event coordinator?
We do. We hired an event coordinator. If anybody doesn't know what the Adams Center is, the old library that was renovated to a historic level. Beautiful. And the Kristen Amoir is our new event coordinator, and she's really pushing to have different events there. It'd be a perfect place for showers, small weddings, even for groups that come in and have book readings and lectures and things. So if you're interested in that, go to our website, which is www.kingstonmass.org, and there's a link there, or you can look it up on Facebook, and there's a lot of information and pictures, and it's really going now, and we want to make it self-sufficient.
Sure.
So
it's
exciting.
And anyone can book an event there?
Anybody can book an event, and there's a fee that's included. But
do you know how far out they tend to book?
They're booking now for any date.
Okay.
So it's just getting up and going on that. So.
Great.
Yeah.
Just one final thing to wrap up. I guess you wanted to remind people about the train.
The train, and a lot of people don't realize this, but the weekend train service on the MBTA through the Kingston depot is now back reestablished. So people can go into Boston, not have to hassle with the traffic, and not pay those exorbitant fees to park, and take the train
Even
in, take a
just going
day.
to Braintree, sometimes that can be a bit undertaking. Kingston's is very lovely to drive in, park, get right on the train.
True.
It's a nice station.
It's convenient, and we're happy to have that back on the weekends.
Great. Okay, thank you so much for coming on the set. Thanks for watching. Replay times are listed on our website, PACTV.org, or you can watch us on YouTube by searching for the PACTV Community News channel. Be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter to receive previews and links to all our stories. A new in-depth episode is now airing Friday nights at 8 p.m. on your public access channel. We took a local and statewide look at dealing with severe weather emergencies for our area. We'll see you next time for another edition of PACTV Community News.